Is Italy closing its doors to immigrants? Recent events have seen a surge in illegal immigration arrivals, catapulting the island of Lampedusa into the spotlight. Overwhelmed by the influx of thousands of migrants, primarily from Tunisia and Libya, Italy finds itself at the heart of a mounting crisis. The nation reels under the weight of this uncontrolled immigration, igniting a wave of fear and anger.
Thousands of people have landed on the small Italian island.
Compare that to 2021, it's 4 times the number. Thousands of refugees now.
The European Union's immigration arrived yesterday, set off through the night.
Let's discuss the complex tapestry of economic, cultural, and political factors that have led Italy to declare, enough is enough. The tipping point: Italy's struggle with mass migration. The tiny island of Lampedusa, closer to North Africa than the Italian mainland, has become the epicenter of this unfolding drama. In a staggering 48-hour period in 2023, 7,000 individuals landed on its shores, outnumbering the local population. The catalysts? Political chaos in Tunisia and catastrophic floods in Libya have reportedly fueled an unprecedented surge in arrivals, with a notable influx of young, able-bodied men, suggesting economic motives rather than war-related asylum. The numbers are mind-boggling. The UNHCR reports that over 260,000 people have made the perilous journey across the Mediterranean from northern Africa to Europe since the start of 2023. Migrant arrivals in Italy have surged by 50% from the previous year, with approximately 155,750 migrants reaching its shores, including over 17,000 unaccompanied minors. Who is supposed to be responsible for these minors? Italy? The country they came from? The parents? Most likely, it will be the struggling Italian taxpayer. But this isn't merely an Italian problem, it's a European one. The French-Italian border crisis in Ventimiglia has become a bottleneck for migrants attempting to reach northern Europe. France's reinstatement of internal border controls has led to the systematic rejection of migrants. The situation is spiraling, and Italy is teetering on the brink. The urgency for decisive action has never been greater. So, what does this mean for the future of Italy? The time for action is now. The government's hardline response: securing Italy's borders. Italy's government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, has taken a hardline stance to secure its borders.
Consentirò che l'Italia diventi un campo profughi d'Europa.
The response has been swift and decisive: increased border patrols, enhanced cooperation with North African countries to prevent departures, and even the consideration of a naval blockade to deter smugglers. But it's not just Italy taking a stand. Prime Minister Meloni, alongside UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, has vowed to jointly combat illegal migration to Europe. It's clear: Italy is drawing a line in the sand, prioritizing the safety and welfare of its citizens, and sending a message that illegal migration will not be tolerated. Why is it that when Italy and the UK take necessary measures to protect their borders and ensure the safety of their citizens, they're criticized for being hardline or inhumane? Since when did enforcing the law and upholding national sovereignty become a crime? National security concerns. When discussing Italy's immigration crisis, it's imperative to address the national security concerns. Unchecked immigration is not merely a humanitarian issue, it poses a national security risk. There have been instances across Europe where terrorists have exploited refugee and migrant flows to infiltrate borders undetected. Italy, like any sovereign nation, has a duty to ensure the safety of its citizens. This necessitates robust vetting processes to distinguish potential security threats. Moreover, Italy cannot tackle these challenges in isolation. International cooperation and intelligence, Italy's approach to immigration must be comprehensive to safeguard the well-being of its citizens. Economic strain, balancing compassion with fiscal reality. The influx of migrants is a challenge to Italy's economic growth, its tax base, and its public debt. As migrants pour in, there's increased competition for social welfare benefits, and that's brewing resentment among the native population and creating social tension. Let's not forget about the impact on small businesses and local economies. Sure, migrants might fill labor shortages, but at what cost? Italy needs to make sure this doesn't come at the expense of local workers and entrepreneurs. Italy, and Europe as a whole, must develop an immigration policy that's not just a band-aid solution. The bottom line is, compassion is important, but so is fiscal reality. How much longer can Italy bear the economic burden in the name of humanitarianism before it's too late? The people's voice. Rising concerns among the Italian populace. The rapid pace of demographic change has ignited a firestorm of anxiety among the Italian populace. Concerns over jobs, cultural identity, safety, and social cohesion are at the forefront of a growing climate of fear and skepticism toward illegal immigrants. It's not just about numbers. It's about the very fabric of Italian society being stretched to its limits. The resistance to immigration is palpable, fueled by a shift in public sentiment that's turning the tide against unchecked migration. Right-wing conservative political parties are rallying under this wave of discontent, advocating for stricter immigration controls to protect the Italian national culture. And it's not just isolated rhetoric. It's a reflection of a broader European crisis where citizens are demanding action to preserve their national identity and security. Public opinion is marked by a deep sense of frustration and concern. Many argue that Europe simply cannot accommodate the entire population of Africa and that unchecked migration must be halted. Legal immigrants who have followed the rules feel a sense of injustice when they see migrants entering with relative ease. There's a prevailing fear that a significant number of these migrants may end up unemployed or involved in criminal activities, exacerbating existing issues like the housing crisis. The current approach to migration could lead to the dismantling of social safety nets. There's a call for a more selective approach to immigration. Many Europeans believe that their governments should focus on protecting their citizens, culture, and national identity. Italy must carefully consider the impact of illegal immigration on its cultural fabric, economic resilience, and internal security. Ultimately, the path forward will require political courage. Only by engaging honestly with the full spectrum of public sentiment can Italy, and indeed all of Europe, chart a course in the right direction.